Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving right into something that honestly feels like a massive leap forward for civic technology in India. We're looking at HaqSetu AI. And let's be clear right up front, this isn't just another generic AI wrapper. This is a purpose-built platform engineered from the ground up to completely revolutionize how citizens interact with government welfare, scholarships, and entitlements. Let's get right into what makes this engine so powerful.
To really appreciate the solution, we first need to look at the reality of the problem. Across India, you have millions of people, students, farmers, senior citizens, low-income families, who are completely undeniably eligible for all sorts of scholarships, subsidies, pensions, you name it. But they never actually see a single rupee. Why? Because they hit a massive wall of bureaucratic blockers. We're talking about incredibly frustrating red tape here. A perfectly eligible student gets denied over an expired income certificate, a grandmother's pension gets halted just because of a tiny bank name mismatch, applications are rejected, verifications hang in limbo for months, and the eligibility rules, well, they're often dizzyingly confusing to navigate.
And that brings us to a hard, paradigm-shifting truth. In fact, this is the entire foundation that HaqSetu is built on. Being eligible for a benefit does not mean you are actually receiving it. We kind of just assume that if a program exists and you qualify, the system naturally takes care of the rest, right? But the reality is, there is a massive chasm between theoretical eligibility and that money actually hitting your bank account.
That realization completely shifts the product strategy here. The old way of solving this, the traditional way, was building platforms that just help users search for schemes. Essentially, a glorified search engine that says, hey, here are 50 things you might qualify for. Good luck figuring out the rest. HaqSetu AI flips that entirely on its head. Instead of just searching for available schemes, it focuses on identifying the specific benefits you are already missing and then tells you exactly how to recover them.
So this system forces us to ask a much better, honestly much more powerful question. Instead of vaguely asking, what's out there, HaqSetu asks, what benefits should I be receiving but am currently missing, and why? Think about the difference in utility there. One is just a passive guess. The other is an active, highly personalized audit of your civic life.
Enter HaqSetu AI. They're positioning this as an AI-powered entitlement auditor. And that word auditor is key. Again, this isn't a chatbot generating random text. It is a highly targeted engine built specifically for benefit recovery. It basically acts like an expert forensic accountant for your civic entitlements. It figures out what's missing, detects the exact blockers holding it up, and then generates a personalized roadmap to get those benefits back. So what does this actually look like for the user? Well, it starts with a really clean, modern interface where the citizen securely uploads their foundational documents. We're talking basic details, an income certificate, maybe a college ID, their bank details, or even a PDF of a previously rejected application. By dropping these into the platform, the user feeds the engine the exact raw data it needs to start its investigation.
Once those documents are in, the engine fires up phase 1 of the intelligent audit. The system takes the profile and documents and dynamically cross-references them against this massive database of official scheme rules. It runs an eligibility check to see what they absolutely qualify for, and then immediately runs a current benefits check to see what the system says they're already receiving. It's a highly logical, step-by-step verification process.
But phase 2 is where the magic really happens. The engine calculates the entitlement gap, literally the space between what they should have and what they actually have. From there, it jumps into deep document analysis and blocker detection. It essentially reads the documents to figure out exactly why that gap exists in the first place. Did a name spelling not match? Did a date expire? Once it finds the blocker, it generates a personalized recovery plan and initiates status tracking.
Let's ground this in a real-world scenario. Imagine a university student logs into the platform, finishes their audit, and this number flashes on their dashboard as their possible annual benefit gap, 35,000 rupees. Now, for a student or a working-class family, that's not just data. That's life-changing money. That's next semester's tuition. That's rent. And it's money that is rightfully theirs, just sitting there, trapped behind bureaucratic red tape.
When we break that 35,000 rupees down on the dashboard, we can see exactly where the money is stuck. Look at the scholarship. The student is eligible, but not receiving it because their income certificate expired. The fee reimbursement? Eligible, but it's blocked by a bank name mismatch. Their insurance is fine. They're already receiving it with no issues. But then check out the transport benefit. They were eligible all along, but simply never knew about it, so they never applied. It gives you a completely transparent, actionable breakdown of their civic status.
But just identifying the problem is only half the battle, right? HaqSetu completely removes the friction by handing the user clear recovery actions. It doesn't just say, hey, your bank name is wrong. It gives exact steps. Correct the bank mismatch, then resubmit for verification. For the expired certificate, renew it, upload the new one right here, and hit reapply. For that missed transport benefit, prepare the application, apply directly, and track the status. It is quite literally a tactical roadmap to reclaiming their entitlements.
This right here is the absolute core innovation of the platform. HaqSetu doesn't just tell users what they might qualify for. It identifies what they are missing, exactly why they are missing it, and precisely how to recover it. It forces that transition from passive wondering to active recovery.
Once the user takes action, HaqSetu maps out the tracking journey. Ideally, they hit the happy path. This is the dream scenario where everything works flawlessly. The user is eligible, documents are ready, they've applied, it clears verification, and boom, it's approved. It's a seamless pipeline from start to finish where the user always knows exactly where their application stands.
But the real world is messy, and that's why the recovery path is so incredibly vital. If an application gets rejected, the system doesn't just leave the user in the dark. A blocker is detected, a specific recovery plan is generated, the user makes the correction, and the application is resubmitted. It acts as a safety net, catching the user when they fall through the cracks and pushing them right back onto the path to success.
The real-world impact of a system like this is just sweeping. We're talking about students finally recovering the scholarships that keep them in school. We're seeing families uncover unclaimed welfare benefits that can drastically ease their daily financial burdens. We're talking about senior citizens identifying massive gaps in their pensions and finally getting the funds they spent their lives earning. And really just everyday citizens resolving rejected applications without having to hire expensive middlemen or waste days waiting in line at government offices.
All of this culminates in one powerful mission statement: HaqSetu AI. Discover less, recover more. The message to the user is clear. Stop endlessly searching for theoretical schemes you'll probably never get, and start actually recovering the money that already belongs to you. And that wraps up our deep dive into this incredible Civic tech launch. HaqSetu AI is helping citizens identify benefits they should already be receiving, detecting exactly why they're missing them, and giving them a personalized path to get them back. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative question to think about. In a world governed by endless data and red tape, how much of your own life is just sitting unclaimed in a government filing cabinet somewhere? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.